This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com. A good Tavach, everyone. Welcome to our next year in Orchos Chaim lha'Rosh with help of Hashem. Learning for this Sunday, Chaf Aleph and Chaf Beis, 21 and 22, sponsored by my good friend Yogi Klugman and family. Lili Nishmas, Meshulam Ben Moshe, Chav Bas Yudah Kohen Klugman, Neshama should have an aliyah, the Refuah Shalema for my Rebbetzin, Miriam Liba Bas Devora, Shapsi Ben Shifra and Chaim Ben Rachel, they should have a Refuah Shalema B'Sech Shecher Yisrael. In 21, the Rosh says, Al Yedaber Ben Netilas Yadayim L'Birchas HaMoitzi. Don't speak in between washing your hands and making the bracha of Netilas Yadayim and the HaMoitzi on the food. Now, this seems to be a rather simple law. We all know that you're not supposed to interrupt after you wash your hands. But the Rosh is highlighting things that we should make sure to do to succeed in life. And while it's a Gemara Brachas, Daf Nun Beis, that take it from the Netilas Yadayim Suda, immediately after washing your hands and making the bracha, you should make HaMoitzi. So it's halacha. You're not supposed to talk it after making the Netilas Yadayim. But the Reb Chaim Kanievsky puts it in perspective on why the Rosh highlights it, because Yerushalmi in the first parak of Brachas says, Kol shehu takef l'netilas yadayim suda, if you succeed in right after you wash your hands making HaMoitzi without interruption, ein ha-satan mekatreg ba'isa suda. The Satan doesn't cause mischief during that meal, which all of a sudden lends much greater importance to being careful not to speak in between the Netilas Yadayim and HaMoitzi. That means people won't choke during the meal, they won't have acid when they eat and terrible heartburn, and there won't be mischief at the table. Parents won't get angry at children, children won't get angry at parents, spouses won't get angry at one another. So it lends an importance to this practice. So you wash, you're waiting for your father, don't talk. And you're in the kitchen and something is missing, and don't talk. Don't talk until the HaMoitzi is made. Now, the Rosh over here employs his method, which is found throughout Orchos Chaim lha'Rosh, of now discussing something which seems to be seemingly disconnected and unrelated. And he says, "V'yakdim shalom l'chol adam." Oh, now we're moving into a life practice, and that is take the initiative to greet every man, every person. Don't wait. Well, if he'll say hello to me, I'll say hello to him. Don't only greet your friends or your kind, but proffer a friendly hello, a bountiful shalom aleichem to every person. Sociologically, people that live in busy cities like New York, they get out of habit of greeting everybody because there's so many people on the street that you would have to say hello, 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 hello. So it almost becomes the norm just to walk past people. But the Jewish way is to greet every person that you see. And the Gemara tells us Rabbi Yochanan would even say a greeting to a Nachri B'Shuk, to a guy in the marketplace. There's a legendary story cited in the Atzko biography of Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky that after Rabbi Yaakov passed away, a nun that lived in a nunnery near Rabbi Yaakov's house met a Jewish person and said, "Where's that rabbi that always used to be here?" And he understood she was talking about Rabbi Yaakov, and he asked, "Why are you asking?" She said, "Because I always used to look forward to his cheery hello, his cheery greeting every morning." I remember that once I was walking in the hallway of an Aguda convention many years ago, and opposite me was passing a woman. I said, "Good Shabbos." And she looked at me and said, "You must be an out-of-towner." So I said, "Actually, I'm a Brooklynite." But people think that to greet people is, you must be an out-of-towner. But it's not so. It's the Jewish way to give greetings. And it's very beneficial. The Torah says, "Va'avorcha mevorachecha." I will bless those that bless you. That's what he said to Avraham Avinu. So when you give a blessing to a Jew, and you say, Shalom Aleichem, that's a blessing. So when you greet another Jew and give a Jew a blessing, you're blessed. I had a mispal that was married for 67 years, and Yitzhak Hashem, by all of us at least. She used to say, Mrs. Leifer, she used to say, give a bracha, get a bracha. And that's what it means. If you greet people then and give them a blessing, then Hashem blesses you. Va'avorcha mevorachecha. In Pirkei Avos it says, having mekabel kol adam b'sever panim yafos. You should greet every person with a thoughtful, smiling countenance. And Ramila used to always say, there's a word over there, b'sever, thoughtful. Everybody, people in shuls like, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Think about what you're saying. Have svara. Think about what you're saying. I wish you that the challenge should be good, and you should be able to sleep in the afternoon and find time to learn, and there shouldn't be any fighting in the house. Think when you say good Shabbos. Now, this also means that there should never be people that you're not on talking terms with. The Rosh says you should live a life where you should be able to be yaktim shalom l'chol adam. There shouldn't be people that you're not on talking terms with. Repair that. And you should also know that we're taught that the barometer of whether Hashem is happy with us is kol sheruach habriyos noichemenu, ruach hanokim noichemenu. If people are at ease with you, then Hashem is at ease with you. And people like people that are always greeting them. Now, but what's the connection between the Rosh's first statement that you shouldn't speak in between Netilas Yadayim and Amoitzi and greeting everyone? So the Mefarshim say that it's the Rosh's opinion that although it's very important not to interrupt between Netilas Yadayim and Hamoitzi, but if it means not greeting someone, you should greet someone in between Netilas Yadayim and Hamoitzi. That is a reason to interrupt. That's how important it is. That's the opinion of the Rosh. Other places can disagree, but that's the opinion of Rosh. That's how weighty of a significance he feels that a Jew should greet other people. And that's why, let's say you're walking to shul, and you're thinking, I'm a little late, let me start already saying Baruch She'amar. But then, if you start saying Baruch She'amar, then you won't be able to greet somebody in the street. Think twice. You'll daven in shul. This way you'll have to pass people without being able to greet them. You know, there's a famous legend that when there used to be coin toll booths before Easy Pass, there used to be coin toll booths where you throw in the coin, and a human toll booth. So they say over from Gedolim that you should go to the human toll booth, that you should be able to say thank you to the toll collector and make a Kiddush Hashem. Now in Chav Beis, the Rosh starts off by saying, again, a cryptic phrase. Levorech es boro, one should bless his creator, shezbia, who satisfies nefesh shoykeka, a craving soul, a soul that craves. Now, most of the Mefarshim, Reb Chaim Kanievsky, most of the Mefarshim learn that this refers to benching. You eat, you're satiated, you're satisfied, and you should bless Hashem, which is 3 brachas d'oraisa and 1 bracha d'rabbanan. So it's a big deal. So the Rosh says, L'vareches boro, one should bless his creator, shezbia nefesh sheikeka, that he satisfied a craving soul, namely, that one should bench with kavanah. One should bench with kavanah, as the Mishnah Berurah writes. If somebody benches with kavanah, muftach lo she'eloi parnasa berevach ubekavod kol yamav. He would have parnasa with plenty and dignity all the days of his life. Plenty means that you don't have to shop from the fruit outside the fruit store. You can go inside the fruit store. Kavod means that you won't have a boss that teaches you like a shmata. All from benching with kavanah. The Knesset Agdola says that if you look through benching, every letter of the Aleph Beis is there except the end of Fei, a face of his. And that's because if somebody benches with kavanah, they'll be protected with Malachi Chabala, the angels of destruction, that all end with a end of Fei, Af, Ketef, Ketef. Now the Rosh adds that when you bench, don't say just thank you that you satisfied my hunger, that my boich, my stomach was satisfied, that I enjoyed the food. But you have to understand that the spirit is at ease when we eat. A person, a wife, a smart wife knows the husband comes home, feed him. Because he's not at ease. His spirit is not at ease until he eats. Don't have heavy discussions until he eats. The Gemara says, Ish yinovev yalovev. A man that is hollow is indecisive. But I think that the Rosh coined this way because he's referring to another bracha. He's referring to Birchas HaTorah. The Gemara says that Torah is compared to mayim, just like water quenches the thirst of the body. Torah quenches the thirst of the soul. And the soul is shekeka, craves for Torah. That's what it says. That's why we were created. That's why in simcha kesimcha satayra, because it fulfills the desire, the craving of the soul. And Hashem made a person to crave that he shouldn't feel fulfilled without Torah. So therefore the Rosh says, this is another bracha deraisa, levarech es boro, to bless his creator, shizbia nefesh shekeka, that with Torah he satisfies a craving soul, the craving, the need of our soul. And now again, the Rosh seems to wander onto a totally unrelated and very heavy and very difficult topic. V'im yekalalu b'nei adam, if a person curses you, or yecharfu, or insults you, al yoshev lehem davar, don't respond in kind, ela yehei min hanelovim, be from those that are insulted and don't answer back. Now this is very hard. We all have a sense of self-respect, and when somebody says something not nice, we want to defend ourselves. Also, we don't want to be taken advantage of. If somebody treats us not nicely and we don't respond, we're afraid they're going to continue to do it. They're going to take advantage of us. However, the Rosh says it's a great thing to be able not to react to barbs and insults. Now this is the midah of tzaddikim. It says that they are nelovim ve'einon olvim, they're insulted, they don't answer back. Shaymim cherposam v'shoiskim, they hear their disgrace and they're quiet. Oisin me'ava, they do out of love, usmeichim b'yitzurim, they're happy with suffering. Aleim omer akosav v'oyavav, and those that love him, kitzeis hashemesh b'gvurasai. It's like the sun goes out in its might. Now, the Tufcha Yabiru speaks about this, and he says that there's a tremendous protection if a person could be insulted and not answer back. It's said that the Chavetz Chaim bemoaned the fact that he never had that schus because nobody ever humiliated him. Because the Gemara tells us that one of the things that lends itself to longevity is hamaver al midaisav, and it says kol hamaver al midaisav, whoever looks away from what is rightfully theirs, ma'avirim mimenu kol pshav, Hashem looks away from their sins. Now, what does this have to do with having kavanah in benching? So the Or Yecheskel says something very profound. The Or Yecheskel says that when a person is very, very satisfied, he doesn't let trivialities bother him. He has so much, she has so much, that they don't let trifles bother them. I'm going to get upset about that. So therefore, if a person benches with kavanah and they realize that they have good, b'chol eis b'chol shah, every time, every hour, they realize that the Rebbeinu Shem Zon feeds them and gives them to drink, meitiv, that's shelter, or mafarnes, that's clothing. realize a person has everything good, then a person's insult, they're going to make a big deal about that? Now, what's the connection that it says that a tzaddik doesn't answer back? He's oisin me'ava. He does out of love. What's the connection? Let me explain it to you. See, most of us from kinvaizon, from young age, we do things for the accolades of people. When we were very young, we looked forward to our parents rewarding us. Then we got salutatory and valedictorian diplomas. We're always looking for people's praise. Then people get older, they want plaques and rewards and awards. When a person does things because of other people's opinion, then insults undermine their very motivation in doing things. If you're going to insult me, then why am I doing it? So then insults matter a lot. But if a person does me'ava, because he wants to please Hashem, then other people's insults don't bother him. This is the explanation, but this is very hard. It's very hard to be on this madrega. We're talking lofty things over here. We actually daven for this. We say, "V'lim kalalai nafshi sidain." Those that take me lightly, let me be quiet. V'nafshi ka'afor lakol tiyeh, and let my soul be like earth. Taisus explains, what's pshat, let my soul be like earth? That just like earth, when you step on it, it doesn't answer back. So also, Hashem, let me be quiet from those that take me lightly or that curse me, and let me be like earth, that I shouldn't feel the need to respond. Of course, this promises peace in the home, because it takes two to tango. So if you don't answer back, then very quickly the fires, the embers of machlokes will die out. But if you keep on answering and you keep on, so then there's a conflagration. So this is a midah that the Rosh says is a very big midah in the Orchos Chaim, in the way of life. We want to thank you very much for making this share possible, and to if you would like to sponsor a share, 718-916-3100. If you want to be a sponsor of this week's Haggadah share, Seder share, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a truly wonderful day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.